Good evening to the graduating class of 2019. My name is Paul Rohde. I'm the chair of the department. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the department's commencement to celebrate your graduation with your friends and family and our faculty. Always before graduation, I look for an event, the anniversary, the bicentennial, a poem, a pithy saying as a hook for my remarks. Yesterday, I closed the department office to try to find something to say. The staff came up with many suggestions. Somebody even brought in the balloon out there about the future is bright. I had some thoughts about this, and I said I should just focus on a few words. First, I want to heartily congratulate you on this wonderful achievement. It is a huge step. Give yourselves a round of applause. Second, I want to congratulate you, those who supported you as well. You grads have done a lot, but few of you have done it alone. Those who have supported you, your friends and family, are to be thanked and thanked again. So please give them a big round of applause. I want to welcome you into the community of Michigan alumni. Tonight, you join a family of over 25,000 economics alumni. You will meet fellow graduates wherever you go, and wherever you end up, please stay in touch and come back often. It is my great pleasure now to welcome to the podium Jim Adams. Jim is the Story Peterson. Okay, should not step on your line. Welcome to the podium, Jim Adams. Jim Adams is the Story Peterson Professor of Industrial Organization and Corporate Finance and the Arthur Thurnau Professor of Economics. He is also the Director of Undergraduate Studies. He's the heart and soul of our undergraduate program. His intellect, his integrity, and his infectious enthusiasm make the program what it is. Jim.
Good evening, and a very special good evening to the economics class of 2019. I am delighted to be celebrating with you this magnificent occasion tonight. For many years, I participated in a different kind of event for parents and students. It's called Campus Day, and it's a program designed for high school seniors who applied to Michigan, were accepted to Michigan, and are trying to decide whether or not to come here. Campus Day is a day of questions. Where should I go? What should I study? How well will I do? How much will I learn? Well, just as Campus Day is a day of questions, so today is a day of answers. And for those of you who are graduates, the answers to the first three questions are clear. You chose Michigan, you chose economics, and you are receiving one of the most demanding undergraduate diplomas this university offers. But what about the answer to that last question? The most important question, the question about intellectual growth and development. Only you can answer that question definitively, but I myself can say this. 1 year ago, I taught a large lecture course aimed at freshmen in the LSA Honors Program. The title was Capitalisms in the plural, and my goal was to explore the many forms that capitalism has taken over the centuries and across the globe. It was a wonderful experience for me, an opportunity to examine everything from the merchant capitalism of Renaissance Italy through the industrial capitalism of 18th century England to the global capitalism of today. What made that experience so exciting for me was not just the subject, but also the students. The students were terrific, extremely intelligent, extremely eager to participate in class discussions, and extremely quick to learn. This semester, I taught a course with the same title, Capitalisms, but this version of the course was designed for seniors majoring in economics. These students were also terrific, intelligent, eager, and quick to learn. And yet, these students were different from the students in the freshman version. Most of my students this semester had already spent 3 years at Michigan studying lots of economics, and it showed. In addition to intelligence and eagerness and quickness, the seniors displayed 2 additional qualities. First, they knew how to think critically about ideas and events. Second, they had a deep understanding of how to do economic analysis. This is the real Michigan difference. This is the real reason why those who stay in economics at Michigan will indeed be intellectual champions. So what accounts for this difference? True, Michigan economics is hard, but hard is not the same thing as mind building. I myself attribute the intellectual value of a Michigan degree in economics to 3 factors. First, it is partly attributable to the faculty. Michigan has an elite department of economics. Since 1880, when the department was created, 4 members of our faculty have been presidents of the American Economic Association, the professional organization to which most card-carrying economists belong. In Washington, 3 Michigan economists have been members of the President's Council of Economic Advisors, and 1 has been a governor of the Federal Reserve System. On this very stage tonight, Professor Catherine Dominguez, seated to my left here, was nominated by President Obama to serve as another Michigan governor of the Fed. When I was an undergraduate studying economics far away from Ann Arbor, my reading lists were full of books and articles written by members of the Michigan faculty. But faculty are not the only teachers in the undergraduate program. Many classes have discussion sections, and these sections are led by graduate students. It's important, therefore, to realize that Michigan also has an elite doctoral program in economics. Many of our doctoral alumni go on to distinguished academic careers at leading research universities and at leading liberal arts colleges. Others go on to distinguished careers in government or the private sector. As important as the faculty are, and as important as the graduate students are, we should not forget the third and the most important reason why the study of economics at Michigan is so rewarding. And that is the exposure each student in the major has to all the other students in the major. Taken individually, Michigan economics students are loaded with talent and drive. Considered as a community, however, Michigan economics is loaded with energy and stimulation. Where do the energy and the stimulation come from? They come from the diversity of the student body. This diversity takes every form imaginable. As a result, whenever we explore an issue in class, our students bring an amazingly rich variety of life experiences to the conversation. Knowledge and wisdom depend on more than the reading of books and the transcription of lectures. They depend on continually being forced to re-examine one's assumptions and expectations. The diversity of life experience at a school like Michigan, and especially in the economics major, is an essential ingredient to the Michigan difference. So, on behalf of my colleagues, to those of you who are parents, I say thank you. Thank you for sharing your children with us. And to those of you who are students, and especially to the many who know about crushed peanut donuts, I say thank you for making our classrooms so stimulating. Thank you for bringing such satisfaction to me and my colleagues at the University of Michigan. Before I begin the next portion of our program, I want to repeat something I said at a different ceremony earlier today. Something about the person who spoke before me, the person who chairs the economics department my colleague, and my friend, Paul Rohde. Very soon now, Professor Rohde will be completing his 3-year term as Chair of Economics. He has led the department in the best possible way, by example. He continues to be a scholar's scholar, publishing important contributions to the economics literature. This very day, the first thing I saw on my computer was his latest publication, an article that had appeared on automation of manufacturing in the late 19th century. He also continues to be a dedicated teacher of undergraduates and graduate students alike. Most important, perhaps, he has maintained his reputation, universally held, inside and outside the department, for being a person deeply committed to civility, to fairness, and to integrity. I am very grateful to have had the opportunity to serve his leadership, and I think we all owe him an immense round of applause at this time. I would like now to introduce our featured speaker this evening, Ms. Mary Ellen Coe. Her resume reveals many of her extraordinary accomplishments. Before joining Google as a partner at McKinsey & Company, she advised leading consumer, media, and technology companies. At Google, she oversees the global advertising business of thousands of small and medium-sized clients serving millions of consumers. Somehow, she also finds time to serve on the boards of directors of other famous corporations. Currently, she is a director of Merck, the major pharmaceutical company. Previously, she was on the board at Whole Foods, helping that company through its acquisition by Amazon. Closer to campus, here in Ann Arbor, she is on the advisory board of the Ross School of Business. To me, however, Ms. Coe is more than a resume. She is a former student of mine. Economics 330, 1988, fall term. I will not even attempt to describe to you the pleasure I have had conversing with her 30 years later about such topics as antitrust policy, the European Union, and of course, Brexit. You can understand, I trust, why it is not just an honor, but also a great personal pleasure for me to introduce our featured speaker, a true Michigan woman, Miss Mary Ellen Coe.
Thank you, Professor Adams, for the very kind introduction. Hello, graduates, esteemed faculty, and proud parents, and excited friends, but most importantly, to the graduates, the class of 2019. A big, heartfelt congratulations to all of you. It is such an amazing feeling for me to be back at the University of Michigan speaking on commencement day. I graduated from the university along with my brother and sister, and I'm incredibly proud to say that my daughter, who is just turning 18, committed to the university this week, so she'll be very proud to join the class of 2023. And that affords me a lot of opportunities to get to Zingerman's over the next 4 years. So nearly 30 years ago, as Professor Adams referenced, I was sitting here in the very same place that you are today. Now, there was a lot that was different. In fact, the World Wide Web was just being started. In fact, just a little bit after that. To Google something was not even a verb that was known, right? Google didn't exist. And if I think back to that time, one of the most important things to remember was in 1989, the University of Michigan won the NCAA basketball tournament and the Rose Bowl all in the same year. And those were some incredibly momentous memories. So I do remember a lot about that. So while I can't say I remember everything, I do remember the feeling of wearing the cap and gown at that time and the sheer joy that I felt. And if I remember, I felt relief, I felt a little bit of pride, and if I'm honest, I felt a lot of trepidation. You see, much like you, my path to graduation was a pretty linear one. You knew how to follow the requirements, you learned what class requirements to take, and how to get the grades. And you checked boxes along the way, right? It's been a pretty clear and straightforward path. However, now you sit here with an incredibly wide open future, with so many options in front of you. And suddenly, the path no longer feels so well prescribed. So one of the really fun things about working at Google is seeing search trends, right? And it turns out that searches on Google for how to get your dream job have increased over 160% in the last 3 years, right? So this is a very big topic on everyone's minds. So it's a journey. Finding a dream job is probably not the result of one Google search, obviously, and it's probably not even one specific job. It's really a journey of self-discovery, and it takes a lot of trial and error. So I want to share a flashback with you. Just about this time back when I was graduating, I was laser focused on my dream job. When I was nearing graduation, I was incredibly confident. There was one company, and it wasn't just one company, there was one job for me at that company. And to protect the innocent, I will just, from now on, refer to that as dream job. In my mind, this was the job for me, and I was just the candidate for them. It was truly destiny. And flash forward, I received a letter in the mail, and I can close my eyes, and I can see the words today. And I bet you know what those words are. I regret to inform you. Right? And I was so stunned. This was wrong. I called them. I said, "You've made a mistake." I said, "This is a love match," right? And, you know, it was so stunning to me that it really just tipped my world, my universe, on its axis. And the important thing, it was at that point that I had to reimagine my future. Today, there are lots of words of advice that I would love to give to that 22-year-old self, me, who was standing there with that letter of regret in my hand. And little did I realize that the best was yet to come. So here goes. First, find out what energizes you, graduates, and find out how to do more of it. Remember, my 22-year-old self got caught up in a brand and a title. So I want to share a perfect example of this is sitting with us in this auditorium today. So as Professor Adams aptly said, back in 1988, I had him for Econ 330. And I try and block a lot of that time out, right? The big lecture halls, who's getting tired of walking to section in the snow and the cold? But there's one clear impression that really stood out in my memory. And that was Professor Adams and the enthusiasm that he brought to his lectures. The sheer intensity and passion he brought talking about economic concepts and cases and theory. And even if my classmates were a little bit sleepy in the morning and sometimes hungover, right? He came with the same passion and enthusiasm. So this past September, I reached out to Professor Adams. I was in campus, and this was nearly 31 years later. And as he mentioned, we had a lunch, and we talked about the market forces in Europe that were impacting Google. And he told a very colorful story about the beer industry and how the broadcast media was had shaped the Bavarian beer industry. And as he told the story, I noted, right, remember, I had not seen him in 31 years. He lit up with the same enthusiasm that he demonstrated on this stage today, and he surely demonstrated on that lunch. He was so energized about what he was doing. So that lunch made me reflect on my career at that point in time. I thought about what gives me that same level of energy and satisfaction that Professor Adams still seems to have about what he's doing today. And this is the really important thing here. Knowing what energizes you is really a lifelong process. And it requires you graduates to take time to reflect. Thinking back at my then crushing disappointment, right? Remember, dream job. When I was rejected, I now realize that I was more excited by how prestigious the company was than really having any degree of certainty about whether what I would have been doing would have been energizing to me. So over time, I've learned an incredible amount about what I'm most passionate about. So some moments of clarity came to me in a shower. Well, kind of. So I was doing research with a global hair care company, and we had to observe consumers in the shower, washing their hair to watch their habits and practices. And trust me, this was all above board, and they were all signed up and all wearing bathing suits. But that's when I realized that I really got a kick out of trying to understand people's behaviors and how it influenced the product choices and decisions that they made. Now, I've done research on pet lovers that we refer to as doting parents who treat their pets to filet mignon and professionally style their fur. I've done tremendous amounts of research on beer, wine, and spirits, and how the time of day and your income and your gender and what region you live in impacts your choices. In fact, graduates, I could probably predict what you're going to be doing this weekend and what choices that you're going to be making. And if Google searches are any indication, you will likely be on the hunt for craft beer, because search trends for craft beer in the US over the past 3 years have increased, wait for it, 2,800%, right? So if that resonates with any of you, Ashley's will probably be on your stop this weekend. To this day, I read countless books on consumer behavior and behavioral economics, and it is still a big part of my job today. But some of you will be very lucky, and you might know right now what really you love to do. But many of you, honestly, will not have the faintest idea right now. And that's okay, right? You've been focused on your requirements and getting good grades, and that's okay. But now is the time, graduates. Now is the time to step back and reflect. You need to have your own special shower moment. You've invested thousands of hours in your education, right? You've honed your skills. Don't squander it on an opportunity that doesn't really energize you. Learning what gives you energy and where you perform at your best is really a lifelong journey. And sometimes it does require trial and error. I equate it a little bit to bumper cars. You drive, you bump, and then you pivot, right? And that repeats itself, drive, bump, pivot. And there might be a little bit of whiplash along the way, but it's going to feel uncertain but incredibly freeing, because it allows you to embrace what's unique about you. And that's going to bring me to my next point. We're in an incredible auditorium of so much talent. I want everyone to look around at all the talent. Look back. If you're in the front row, look back. You are surrounded by an amazing group of graduates, right? As Professor Adams said, some of the most talented in the university. And you're all graduating from a very, very prestigious university. So that can feel a little bit intimidating, doesn't it? So now take a moment and consider what makes you stand out from this crowd. What makes you uniquely amazing? We all have a set of talents and experiences. Our skills, our character strengths, our cultural identity, our background. Now, I want you to double down on that and get out there and tell your story. I've interviewed a tremendous number of talented candidates over the years with loads of degrees and lots of analytic prowess and tremendous leadership accomplishments. And that's all great. It really is wonderful. But if you're not careful, that can make you an algorithm, a formula. And what I want to know is, I want to know, graduates, what makes you different. I want to know your story. So let me share a little bit about my story. I grew up as the youngest of 6 children, the daughter of a plumbing contractor who did not go to college. My parents started Robert L. Coe Plumbing and Heating in a town in Michigan just about 45 minutes from here, back in 1957. For a long time, oh, and I must mention, that company put all 6 of us, all of my brothers and sisters, through university. Now, for a long time, I shied away from this story because, frankly, when I was at university, I wanted to fit in. I remember writing job resumes, and my roommate, who had a father who was an editor in the New York Times, he could provide tremendous help writing resumes. And my father had never written a resume, right? He didn't know how to help me. And I felt a little bit embarrassed and a lot like I was missing out. I didn't have the same leg up as my friends did, and I didn't have the same built-in business network. However, years later, I could kick myself because what I realized was how much my family experience shaped me. My father was an entrepreneur who started his own business and managed and led it through a major recession. He was a powerful combination of dedication and positivity and resilience. Growing up, I can't remember a morning where he didn't walk out the door to his shop with a wink in his eye and a spring in his step. He used to take me to customer visits, he used to take me to lunch, and he always had a genuine smile for every customer that he met. Now, when I was 9 years old, he got colon cancer. And with 6 children of school age, my mother, who's here today, decided to go back to do her accounting degree. And the truth of the matter is, she probably would have been a CEO if she hadn't been running around managing 6 children in my father's business at the time. You see, going back to what is uniquely amazing about you, my parents taught me the power of positivity and resilience, and really importantly, the importance of creating a very strong community of the people that you work with, making sure that people feel valued and enjoy coming to work every day. And those truly are the qualities that have shaped how I behave as a leader. So each of you graduates, you have so much individually to offer. Dig deep and figure out what makes you uniquely amazing. And please don't be afraid to tell your story because it's going to help you stand out among all the others along the way. Which brings me to my third and final point. Don't put limits on your potential. What makes you amazing really can and should evolve. And it's your responsibility. Raise your hands. Take on new challenges. Take on new experiences, even if they feel incredibly uncomfortable, which they often always do. You know, I often find that you'll face limitations. You might even limit yourself. I can't tell you how many candidates come to me and vex about a job decision as if it will shape their entire career, and it ultimately ends up stopping them from taking opportunities and moving forward. I've spent so much of my career redefining how people perceive me and how I position myself to be ready to step into the new and next opportunity. In fact, one of the pieces of advice that was given to me that always resonates, it's a little intense, but it's to the point. Careers are like sharks. They move forward or they die. Now, that's a pretty vivid metaphor, but I always tell my teams this, and I've had people reach out to me years later and say, you know what, Mary Ellen, I thought about that, and that's what gave me the impetus to move on to the next big opportunity. So when I look back on my journey, pushing myself to take on new challenges and experiences, exactly one of the things that really energizes me. I worked my way into advertising leading consumer brands with no prior work experience. I ended up at a leading management consulting firm with no MBA and made a 12-year run of it and became a partner when only 5% of the global partners were women. I moved west to Silicon Valley when I really had no tech background in the traditional sense to go work at Google. And now I'm dedicating my career to purpose-driven businesses. So I've joined the board of a pharmaceutical company that is dedicated to fighting cancer. And most of my board colleagues have spent their life dedicated to scientific research. None of this happened by chance. It's because I was intentional and moving forward despite mine and anyone else's perceived limitations. So graduates, the ability to define your future is in your hands today, and it will be for the rest of your careers. All you have to do is step up and own it. Class of 2019, now is really your time to shine. You've worked so incredibly hard to get where you are today. And while some of you might know exactly what your next move is, for the rest of you, let me share with you one last Google search trend. Queries for how do I know what to do with my life are up 250%, right? So you are definitely not alone. As you leave the University of Michigan, know that you are leaving with a broad community of support behind you. The alumni network is vast and invaluable. So as you set out on whatever path and you need help figuring out what's next, please reach out to any of us, and we would be delighted to help you. Remember the 3 things I shared. Find out what energizes you and how to do more of it. And know what is uniquely amazing about you and share it with the world. And finally, never, ever limit your potential. Congratulations, graduates. Here's to the rich future ahead.
Students are fond of generously saying of their preferred teachers that they are inspiring. I think you just heard why faculty members think of students as being equally inspiring. Another round of applause, please, for Mary Ellen Coe. To graduate from Michigan with a BA or a BS in economics is a great achievement. As I mentioned before, our major is one of the most challenging on campus. But a few of our students have performed with exceptional distinction. Some of them have won prizes, and some will graduate with honors in economics. These students are seated behind me here on the stage. I will now ask each of the 30 recipients of honors or prizes to stand in place while I mention their specific accomplishments. Not all of them could be here this evening, but I will mention them anyway. Zichun Chelsea Chen, High Honors in Economics. Jiayun Jessie Chen, Sims Prize in Economics. Sophia Cotignola, Economic Service Award. Mustafa El Kashlan, highest honors in economics, Ferrando Prize in economics, Osterweil Prize in economics. Sylvie Evarts, Sims Prize in economics. Kevin Hall, Osterweil Prize in economics. Joshua Kremers, Sims Prize in economics. Neyun Kwan, honors in economics. Jiashu Li, High Honors in Economics, Sims Prize in Economics. Claire Meingast, Adams Prize in Economics, no relation. Elise Odell, Highest Honors in Economics, Ferrando Prize in Economics. Roy Orzak, Highest Honors in Economics, Ferrando Prize in Economics. Jennifer Piaczynski, Economics Service Prize. Siddharth Ramanathan, High Honors in Economics, Osterweil Prize in Economics. Kendra Robbins, Highest Honors in Economics, Ferrando Prize in Economics. John Sack, Honors in Economics, Sims Prize in Economics. Cassandra Sample, High Honors in Economics, Adams Prize in Economics. Sophia Syed, highest honors in economics, Ferrando Prize in economics, Parker Prize in economics. Alice Schmitz, high honors in economics, Parker Prize in economics. Madeline, it doesn't hurt, actually. They're gentle. Madeline Setiono, Adams Prize in economics. Joshua Thielen, high honors in economics. Shinyu Martin Tong, honors in economics. Anna Tushman, Economic Service Award. Daniel van Arburg, Sims Prize in economics. Carolyn Watson, high honors in economics. Maggie Zijing Xu, highest honors in economics, Ferrando Prize in economics. Jiaxi Yin, Sims Prize in economics. Shenfei Wei, high honors in economics. Weijia Coco Zhang, high honors in economics, Sims Prize in economics. And Yusi Zhou, highest honors in economics and Ferrando Prize in economics. Congratulations. Before we begin the next part of our program, I want to recognize our undergraduate advising team. Most students rely on the advisors for precious advice about how best to navigate the field of economics and how best to navigate the department. Speaking from a faculty perspective, I know we could never maintain the quality of our undergraduate program without the dedicated and intelligent work of our advisors. I will ask each one to stand and remain standing until all their names are called. Please hold your applause until I identify all 8 of them. Dr. Ronald Caldwell, Dr. Edward Cho, Dr. Mitchell Dudley, Ms. Olga Mustada, Dr. Christopher Prue, Dr. Stanley Cito, Dr. Adam Stevenson, Dr. Dongni Wan. Please congratulate our advisors. I also want to thank everyone who worked so hard to ensure the festivity of this evening in Power Center. Ms. Olga Mustada deserves the primary credit for organizing this event, but every member of our staff has contributed. They are Rhonda Abrigo, Carrie Dunn, Laura Flack, Julie Hines, Cassandra Kelly, Michael Lee, Mary Mangum, and Lauren Pillay. I think these people deserve a thunderous ovation. If you applaud loudly enough, they will hear you even though they are working outside in the outer gallery. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the presentation of the degree candidates. Each student will be announced and receive a certificate here on stage. Many students are involved in this portion of the ceremony, and so we'll try to proceed with all deliberate speed. If you wish to take pictures, there will be opportunities in the lobby after the ceremony. I call on Dr. Ronald Caldwell and Dr. Dongni Wan to the microphones to announce each student. And I call on Professor Catherine Dominguez, Director of Honors, as well as Professor Paul Rohde, the department chair, to assist me with the conferral of certificates. We begin with the recipients of prizes and honors.
Switch it to it should be. I think this one, yeah.
What's that?
Should be okay, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So could the first row come and you'll hand your form to one of these two individuals.
Cassandra Sample.
Alice Switch.
Mustafa Al-Kashran.
Nathan Shen. Siddharth Ramanathan.
Kendra Robbins.
Safia Syed.
Yuci Zhou.
Caroline Watson.
Josh Thalen.
Elise O'Dell.
John Sack.
Roy Orzak.
Maggie. I couldn't see the last name. I'm sorry. Chen Zechun. Yue Zhenfei.
Here we go.
Chris Bates.
Rebecca Kraus.
Jacob Salen.
Rowan Dixell. Leon Lee Burnham.
Kyle Otis.
Harper.
Joseph Harper.
Oh, I should do yours.
Alexander Rice.
That's my
Jacob Wilk.
Alec Geese.
Andrew Angel.
Andrew Nevin.
Okay.
Benjamin Peters.
Matthew Cohen. Ryan Smith.
CJ Greenstein.
Joseph Cohen.
Rainer.
Noah Reiner.
Lauren Wisharoth. Jackson Gari.
Peter Gaffney.
Zachary Jean.
Madeline Sationo. Sujan Han.
Ryan Bear.
Corey Russell.
Cameron Dobler. Micah Levy.
John Brennan. Michael Hardy.
Hayden Tang Kanazawa.
Jiang Han. Gary Young. Evan Stuber.
Joey DiPetrillo.
Michael Wyson.
Ahmed Mita.
Nicholas Collins.
Jen Sami.
Noreen Nader.
Alex Holka. Umar Soleimani.
Brody Maxick.
Jonathan Katz.
Jason Newman.
Jason Beneducci.
Peter Ojoy.
Dylan Himanshu Design.
Nick Eberhardt.
Mackenzie Rupert. Rebecca Herman.
Jacob Scott. Christian Suzuki.
Juliana Huerta Mercado.
Kevin Watt. Ria. Matthew Bates.
Grant Gromard.
Grant Simon.
Nicholas Marion.
Jacob Howard.
Maximilian Denninger.
Alexander Truba.
Elizabeth Xiong.
Robert Lee.
Jonah Zackelman.
Co-driver.
Dari Belkova.
Matthew Miller. Grace Canfield.
Morris O'Sullivan. Javier Barina. Madhav Kapoor.
Andrea Fisher. Liu Kai. Zhang Ziyi. Liu Shimu. Ren Ao. Dong Yichen. Wang Jinyu.
Nathan Overend. Alexandra Darwish. Catherine Hennessy. Bridget DiGiorgio.
Cooper Jenkins.
Jazz Testa.
Alyssa Schmidt.
Matthew Pecker Oro. Gorshevsky. Daniel Gorshevsky.
Kevin Gorby. Ethan Greenberg.
Matthew Lebo.
Charmia Ma. Carmen Ye.
Emma Moworth. Elizabeth Pijonowski. Hunter Hornscheid.
Victoria Papas. Katia Albrecht. Gloria Winola. Preston Kim.
Ben Lacombe.
Jacob Thirst.
Robin Elihu.
曹博元。姚银妙。吴宇凡。陈文义。廖文玲。李荣玉。李莹莹。郭家志。
What's that? Yaroslav Shapirov. Yaroslav Shapirov.
Kyle Colley.
Matthew Solomons.
Ryan Schustrick.
Gabrielle Salter.
Josh Stein. Hanju Lee.
Sai Parchuri. Suhas Mugunti. Suhas Mugunti.
Alex Litchfield.
Gabriella Font. Erica Gonzalez Paramo.
Yi Fan Yu. Liu Feng.
Musab Muhammad.
Anthony Cornander. Nicholas Berg.
Keegan McGuire.
Jack Zhang. Abigail Siegel.
Nanathi Chakrabi.
Mira Kumar.
Neil Schwartz.
Anna Tashman.
Brianne Holton.
Sanji Nam.
Marina Ross.
Guo Lei. Li Luoqi. Kou Shuhan. Liu Yunqi. Torn Rinterberg.
Jacqueline Kessel.
Peter Boss.
Noah Macklin.
Isaac Schickerk. Amy Liang. Amy Liang.
Alexi Kershaw.
Jennifer Perchinsky. Kara Giles.
Oshri Daniel Olsberg.
Alec Wittenberg.
Sophia Hillsland.
Jamie Bora. Rachel Wilson. Julia Tayabi.
Anthony Prisendero.
Benjamin Rappaport. Team Kaplan.
James Montgomery.
Ben Simon. Jay Guys. Eric Simons.
Alexandra Chapdelaine.
Chong Yang.
Anne Marie Carlson.
Sabine Hinrano. Alexa Sonnenberg. Blick.
Amanda Leishore.
Jennifer Herman. Lauren Birdie.
Isha Patel. Ryan Kobakoff.
John Sorensen.
Sorolia. Julian Sorolia.
Samuel Schumann.
Max Scheer.
Zoe Webking.
Parker James Fisher.
Carly Burwell.
Notch Dakwale. Lucy Wood.
Amelia Pazzetti.
Apollonio. Mitchell Apollonio. Anthera Ashmir. Anthera Ashmir.
Dorian Chen.
Mohammed Nofal Manzani. Mohammed Nofal Manzani.
Deidre Shuing Yong. Tan Jiayi.
Zeman. Jalen Zeman.
Matthew McMichael.
Allison Radman.
Robert Abraham.
John Anderzak. William Stampful.
Dae Du.
Lucia Yokona. Lucia Yokona.
Chen Zhendong. Zhang Yile.
Mancina. Joseph Mancina.
Shane Reed.
Jasdeep Singh Grewal.
Kyle Rodriguez. Brendan McCann.
Cameron Livernoy.
Bobby O'Saran.
Tarun Kalyanaraman.
Victor Jan.
Luke Spencer.
Maxwell Singer.
Nicola Beltrama. What's the last name? Beltrama. Nicola Beltrama.
Anthony Garvey.
Azure. Okay. Sabrina Azure.
Taylor Slayton. Jamie Gilman.
Lindsay Dale.
Erica Villafranca. Tom Sorek.
Fiona Harkin Newsom. Audrey Schwartz.
Rohini Majrinda. Natalie Stoliker.
Michael Ong.
Aileen Huang.
Roxana Ahmadsadeth.
Jillian Drescher. Nika Alai.
Julia Pollock.
Scott Brock Wilson.
Sear. Nicholas Sear. Olivia Rosenberg.
Natalie Lennis. Nicole Dean.
Ethan Evans.
April Song.
Jarrett Atkinson Warren.
Kevin Chen.
William David Buckfire.
Arham Arshad.
Joshua DeBell. Grant Chaskin.
Owen Hurley. Drew Gouda.
David Hart. The Vol Potel.
John Wagnick. Annie Chen. Haley Hearn.
Andrew Hedgeka.
Trevor Dominic. Joran Huser.
Abe Rikus.
Bo Wan Ku. Zhong Huan Kim. Jae Hao Yu. Junbam Kim. Senchan Oh. Sete Stephen Kim.
Joshua McAllister.
Stephen Philippou.
James Mugaliver.
Andrew Shore.
Bauer. Martin Bauer.
Kevin Lee.
Brant Williams.
Josh Krimmers.
David Webster.
Sarah Martins.
Joshua Lank.
Matthew Correa.
Anne Rainey. Sierra Klein-Kinsop.
Wu Jieqiu.
Garrett Rietzma.
Benjamin Tan.
Andrew Sarafa.
Jacob Bone.
Daniel Vonnerberg.
James Winslow.
Everard Dongma.
Nicholas Clamful.
Sylvie Everts.
Robert Bacarian Jr.
Michael Roth Jr.
Coulter Knight.
Kayla Musel. Amo Dadiva.
Yunsu Mok. Sang Hu Yun.
Maxwell Whipple. Maxwell Whipple.
Mark Honor. Lauren Wang. Yunju Lee.
Ranveer Nandarimar.
Aaron Bui. Kevin Hall.
Skelly. Patrick Skelly.
The economics class of 2019.
So I wanted to congratulate the graduates again. I wanted to thank the staff, Olga, and all the others. I wanted to thank Jim Adams and Mary Ellen Cole for their outstanding remarks. Oh, this is not going to take long. And I wanted to thank the friends and family. You really deserve a round of applause, so let's applaud the friends and family. Enjoy the evening, and come back soon. Thanks a lot.